All right, hey everyone. I'm Angelo Neferatis. I'm the founder and CEO of Nifty Drone Solutions. And today I'm looking to unveil our products, TitanOps. And one further than that, I want to make it available to you for you to utilize, right? Beat up. Give me your feedback. Tell me if you like it. Tell me if you don't like it. Um, and really, real quick, I just want to talk about what it is, and how we see it provides value to the drone community. So TitanOps is an AI mission assistant. It's really transforming how drone operators are operating. It captures and understands their missions as well. So whether you're, a seasoned professional or you might just be getting started, TitanOps really gives you that confidence in the field. So it helps you troubleshoot your drone in real time, understand FAA regulations, especially as situations unfold, so it's all real time. And then locate nearby landmarks such as hospitals or schools and narrate scenes effortlessly to document what's happening on the ground. This is extremely important. A lot of people's notes, especially when you're flying a drone, you're not thinking too much about taking notes, right? So this acts as almost like your professional note taker and understands what the drone's doing, what it's seeing, what you're saying. So extremely useful. TitanOps doesn't stop there though, right? It's learning from every flight, every conversation, every system message, every note you take. It's automatically compiling these, and it generates these natural language mission summaries for you at the end of your mission. Um, and you can use that to create a comprehensive record of all your operations. So over time, the summaries become even more powerful, right? Organized intelligence, essentially. So TitanOps uncovers patterns in the drone performance, identify trends in pilot behavior, very important there. What if your pilot's saying, take off the drone? Or how do I take off the drone, right? You probably don't want your pilot that's flying a probably larger than $10,000 drone, how to take it off. You want to track that. If a drone's consistently experiencing GPS dropouts, you're going to know all of that. And it's a clear sign, right, that there's something wrong with your drone, or in the pilot sense, right, there's something wrong with your pilot. Um, with TitanOps, right, every flight is becoming a chance to learn and improve and operate smarter. It's more important, right, more useful. It's not just an assistant, right? We want it to be your partner, something that connects people and technology into one seamless experience. And TitanOps is just that. We're not trying to take over drone pilots, right? This is supposed to be your co-pilot. It's there for you when you need it. So I want to take the time also to just kind of right, how do you get access to the trial, right? Well, it's pretty simple. I'm doing it by request only at this point in time. So you just travel over to niftydrones.com, and you just move over to the contact tab, and you can send us a message there or message me on YouTube, LinkedIn, whatever you want. However you want to get in contact with me, and I can set you up with a trial. And then, oh yeah, one of the more important things about TitanOps, right, it can operate with or without the internet. So if you're in the middle of the woods doing a search and rescue mission, this still works. Very powerful. For the people who don't necessarily care about whether or not it's hosted on premises or in the cloud, you can utilize it yourself, right through your phone, your laptop, whatever, as long as you have access to the internet. Right? We want you to connect up to a simulated drone that we have running here, um, and have you test, mess around with it, see what you think, provide feedback, that sort of thing. One really cool thing here is you can access this anywhere, right? It's your phone, your computer, anything. You do need to perform a one-time connection to the drone and setup, and that's via either an Android app or a Windows app that we have. And it's a pretty self-explanatory user interface. I can show it to you really quick. So it'll look something like this. Um, we'll have instructions on how you're supposed to populate all of this, but you essentially just come here and you start the API and you start the tunnel, and you'll have a quick status there. And once you do that, there'll be an agent ID here. And all you need to do is plug your agent ID into one of our control panel settings, and you're good to go. So pretty simple setup. Okay, so let's get started. Right, one of the first questions you might ask is, what can you even help me with, right? So we have a default prompt here for you that you can, sort of leverage, and there's others as well. So we'll just come here and we'll click this and we'll say, hey, what can you help me with? Okay. So, uh, right, it says, hey, I can assist you with some FAA regulations, PX4 drones, and standard operating procedures (SOPs). And then they list out, hey, right, I can help you with all these different things. Well, I'm actually curious about the drone status, right? So let's say let's see what kind of status we can get from it, right? So you can essentially figure out what you can and can't do with TitanOps without even a user manual, right? You can just ask it, what can you do, what can you not do, and then have it expand on that. So here you have, right, all the different status messages, pilot actions, connectivity status. So let's just get the current position. So it should reach out to that drone server that's running on your Android phone or your Windows computer, and should provide you basically latitude, longitude, your altitude, and then also right things that it's nearby. Right. Okay. Yeah. What I have my latitude, longitude, but what does that mean? Especially if I'm someone who's remote, maybe accessing this and trying to understand what's going on. So very important and useful tool right there. Another thing, right? I do provide some limited commands here. It's not anything special, right? The control resides with the pilot. That's a very important aspect of TitanOps. We're simply there to sit and act as your assistant. We're not trying to take over the world with AI. It's not there yet. We've heard multiple people in the industry talk about that. So really, what I want to do is, right, simple commands, right? Maybe I just want it to take off. Right, so it'll take that, right? It basically allows you to take off the drone. You can land it and you can return to launch. And then most importantly is you can change pointing angles for the camera. So if I want to, you know, pitch the camera down slightly, right, you can do that. So right, it took off, and this is a simulated drone running over on one of our local devices here. So once you do that, right, then we can come over here and we can say, all right, let's change the pointing angle. Let's pitch it to 20 degrees down, right? You could specify down, um, but it's right. Its zero pointing angle is horizontal, so anything below, you point the camera down. Um, Absolute degrees are important. See, and it even specifies it for you. So very useful again. Okay, well now, right, we did some pretty simple commands. Let's try and maybe challenge it a little bit. Uh, let's go look at the battery status and right, we'll say, like, take a look at the battery status and let me know how the voltage compares to what is required in the user manual. So we have knowledge of specific drones that we support right now. So while I say PX4, we support more specifically the TL2 drone, um, as well as DJI Mavic 2 drones. So more to come. Oh, and also, all Articopter drones as well. And that's from a user manual standpoint, right? Like, so questions like this, like you can't ask, but any PX4 drone, right, the get battery status or anything like that, like that's still fine. It just has to do with the user manual. But as we support more and more drones, we'll be able to do things like this. So we say, hey, look at that. Battery's at 15.2, and it looks like teal requires 22.2 volts. So it's significantly lower than the normal operating range. Um, right, let's change the battery. Um, and if you need instructions, right, I can let you know. So very useful, very quick, right? That was a matter of like 6 seconds. All right, another feature that we have, right, is I have I have a basically canned video feed right now that is representing the view of a drone. I took this video a couple months back, so it's just playing on repeat, but it gives you the ability to mess around with the vision aspect of it, right? So we can do some scene narrations here. Uh, so let's just do something generic, right? Tell me what you see right now, and it should provide a pretty accurate explanation. And what I can do here is also I'll just open up, um, sort of the network stream that it's seeing right now. Um, so, right, come here. Here's the video stream. Let's put it up side by side here, or at least try to. So, large grassy field, paved walkway. Across it to the left, there's a road. Area appears with no people and usual activity. Right, it's just basically grabbing a snapshot from this video and providing a quick scene narration on that. But just as we did before, right? If you have any standard operating procedures, like if you see a red car, um, it can cross-check that, right? So you say, hey, check the video, and if it is required via the standard operating procedures to find a red car, it'll let you know if it does. Um, this is meant to be used as sort of documentation, right? So if you, the drone operator, are seeing something and you want a quick visual narration, you can do that there. We did upload to TitanOps standard operating procedures. It's actually the emergency response handbook that a lot of fire departments use. Just an example as a standard operating procedure, something that you might have there. Um, so yeah, we can query different things from that, right? So to my SOP. So let's go take a look at the risk of radioactive material. So it should reach out to that documentation and pull from it the relevant material associated with any risk of radioactive materials and what you might want to do with that. And again, right, these can be your own custom SOPs, but really cool, right? We can come here and we can say, hey, look at this, standard operating procedures, guides, orange section, and it references the emergency response handbook. So you know this is coming from an actual source and it's not hallucinating. So you can go back and you can audit this as well. I'll provide the links to all these different PDFs, user manuals, so you can also provide any audits if you want to. Right, and the same goes for the FAA regulations. So we did upload the FAA regulations to TitanOps as well. So we can say, right, hey, we'll do something simple here. Obviously, I would love to see if you could challenge it a little bit more. Love to see what you come up with and the different mistakes that it might make associated with some of the prompts that you provided. Um, but just a simple one, right? Can I fly my drone beyond visual line of sight? It's going to reach out to those regulations, um, and it's going to say, hey, not permitted. However, unless you get a special waiver. So if you go and apply for a waiver, yeah, you can do it. Otherwise, you can't. And look at that. It references the regulations chapter, section 5.9, visual line of sight aircraft operations. Um, okay, so we really hit on a lot of the main features associated with TitanOps. One of the last ones we want to do here, right, is what are the nearest places? Right, so we can ask it outright. What are some of the nearest places? We can even get more specific than that, right? We can say, what's the nearest school? What's the nearest hospital? This is very important, right? If you are, um, right, you're flying your drone, you're trying to understand what you're looking at, um, or if someone else is trying to figure out, what's near your drone. Here you have the West Orange High School, right? And we can come here and even as you're doing your operations, right, you can come here and you can create your own notes as well. So you can come here, you can talk into them. Very useful. We're working on getting this integrated directly into your chat window so you don't have to come here. It's a bit more of a manual process. But if we come back, um, very useful as well. And I'm just going to drag this down, right? So this is the simulated drone. Um, it's at West Orange High School. Uh, Batteries at 15% or 50%, voltage is 15.3. If you remember correctly, right, when we looked and we did a battery check there, we said, hey, 15.3 volts, 50% remaining. So that's what you see here. Now let's just go ahead and just land the drone. Um, and one of the key things here is, right, like I'm doing all this, it's all on the internet, right? You have your choice. Maybe you are doing a search and rescue mission, or maybe you don't want to be connected to the internet at all, right? You want privacy. Um, and there you go, the drone landed. This all operates. We have the ability to provide you it packaged and ready to launch locally. Um, we do require a hardware setup for the local setup, which is a NVIDIA Jetson. You do need that computation power, right? We're running local um, fine-tuned large language models to properly run this. But for the sake of um, trial demonstration purposes, we want to provide you the ability to access this on AWS, or if you're a commercial operator and you don't mind it being connected to the internet, you have this available to you as well. Okay, so the drone landed, and this is my notification for it. Now that it landed, right, let's do one of the really useful things here. So we can click this button, generate a mission summary, or we could send it in as a prompt, right? We can say, hey, generate me a mission summary, whatever you want, whatever's easier. I prefer the button. Just makes life a little bit easier. So what this is doing is it's going out, capturing the conversation that we had, um, all of the drone status information, all of the actions that I did. So what I took it off, right? Um, and any information from your notes as well. So it takes it and it puts it into this nice mission summary. So it tells you about, any actions, drone actions or status that happened. Um, and it gives you some key insights, right? Um, it brings up the battery, which is a very important one, right? That was an error. That was something that was not good. So great pickup as well. Um, and right, it's talking more about battery management, situation monitoring. So this report can then just be exported, and right, you can utilize it for your maintenance logs. Okay. Lastly, uh, one of the most important things, and something I really want you to consider as you're running through this, is if you like the message, if it makes sense, if you think it's accurate, there is a good and bad response that you can utilize to tell TitanOps whether or not its answer was accurate, um, if it followed your instructions, etc. And you can even add your own notes, right? So you can rate it on a scale of 1 to 10, right? Tell me why you thought it was good. This is really going to help me understand, um, what people are looking for in those responses, and if they're clear enough too. I think that's a big one. Sometimes I might make assumptions. So really excited to see your ratings of some of these responses as well. Really the extent of the demonstration. There's a lot more features. This leverages the Open Web UI interface. So you have voice mode in here. You can dictate. Even as a user, you could bring in your own tools as well. Upload files, take images, and bring those in. And you could even reference other chats. There's plenty of other things you can do in addition to what TitanOps offers you. So this really is your all-in-one platform for your drone operations. Okay, that I want to thank you. Um, Appreciate you taking the time to look through this video. Give it a like. Go on LinkedIn. Go on our website and request a trial use if you want, and we'll provide it to you. Um, Given a valid email, contact information, and we should be good to go. Thank you again.